episode 50. You are listening to the new Glam Gal podcast, the podcast where style meets confidence. Conquer the frustration of trying on clothes and learn to dress and love the body you are in. There are no size or weight requirements here. I'm your host, Miss J. Join me, won't you? Hey Glam Gal, welcome back to the podcast. We have an ongoing summer preparation party. All the Glam Gals have gotten together and we're hanging out, we're chilling, we're enjoying the pool, we're enjoying fancy cocktails, we're running around full of confidence. In our first episode, we talked about that you have the right to take up public space. You have the right to go to the pool or the beach, no matter what size or weight you are. In the second episode, we talked about summer season essentials, the 3 items every gal must have as she ventures out to summer events this season. They have nothing to do with your size or your weight. In our third installment of our ongoing beach preparation party, we're going to talk about swimsuit fitting. This area is so fraught, and I know that so many of my gals are extremely frustrated by the experience of shopping in general. And then when they have to shop for a swimsuit, it becomes this catastrophized event, and all the shamey body issue things you have come floating to the surface. So first of all, before we even get into my 5 fitting tips, I want to let you know you're not alone, which is why all of us Glam Gals are doing this together. I want you to always bring a buddy with you when you're trying on clothes, specifically swimsuits, because you may be already geared towards the negative in your mind, and you'll use it as an opportunity to nitpick yourself. And you're less likely to do so if you have someone who loves you and who you trust with you. So that way you're both working on what's good, while also taking into account the things that you don't like about this particular swimsuit. Notice I said it's things that you don't like about the swimsuit. It's not things you don't like about your body. So always go into any dressing room with that mindset. The clothes must conform to me. If I don't like the way something fits, there's nothing wrong with my body. This garment just didn't work for me. It's a very different mindset to have. And I want all of my glam gals to take this on when they go into any dressing room or any clothing fitting situation. The clothes must conform to me. If you can really wrap your brain around that, you can make trying on things so much easier on yourself. So here are my 5 tips to get you through swimsuit fitting this season. Number 1, ignore the tag. I cannot emphasize this enough. Ignore the size on the tag. Now, I already did a whole episode on retail sizing and dressing room drama, and I really recommend everyone go back and re-listen to that episode because I go through the actual history of retail sizing in the United States, which is super wonky and very arbitrary. What I always tell my gals, and if you've done style school with me, my 6-week program, you'll know that we practice the rule of 3. You try on the size you think you are, the size above that, and the size below that. Because fit is everything. The tag size is literally a made-up number full of shenanigans. So we don't do shenanigans around here. We don't make numbers mean anything about us or our self-worth. So please ignore the number on the tag size. Practice the rule of 3. That's how you overcome the tag size. You make it a game. My second tip is to know your actual measurements. Now, this is something I walk my gals through in week 1 of style school. I have them take their actual measurements. Sometimes a lot of you have lost a lot of weight or even have gained weight, so you don't know what your actual measurements are, and you're relying on arbitrary tag sizing to let you know what size you are. So when you go to fit something in a dressing room, it becomes a very confusing, overwhelming, very despairing experience. And it doesn't have to be that way. If we do away with the idea that the tag size means anything, and we know what your actual measurements are, then we look at the size chart for that particular brand, and we'll have a better chance of exercising the rule of 3 and finding something that fits you. I want you to take your underbust measurement. That means you're going to put on a good fitting bra. If you don't have one, go back to the bra fitting episode called Bra Bra Ooh La La. It's episode number 5 to go over common bra fitting issues. So I want you to put on your best bra, and you're going to take a measuring tape and line it right under your bust. Lay it flat against your skin. That's your underbust measurement. And then I want you to take your overbust measurement. Again, you're going to take a measuring tape, pull it over your best fitting bra over the tops of your breasts. That's your overbust measurement. Then you're going to bend at your waist, and where you bend naturally, that smallest part of your waist, you're going to take that measuring tape and lay it flat around that area. Then you're going to measure around your legs and your hips, the roundest part of your booty, the fullest part of your hips. Those measurements are key to swimsuit fitting. Now, if there's a swimsuit company that's particularly good about sizing, they'll also ask you for your torso. So you're going to run a measuring tape from one shoulder across your body, down the middle, up your crotch, up your back to that same starting point. That's going to give you your torso measurement. Not all swimsuit companies will ask for it, but it's good to have it on hand if you find a good one. Swimsuits for All does a very good job on ensuring fit. They also have a large range of bathing suits, including plus size. I'm not affiliated with them, but I have found that they have a very nice selection in a full range of sizes. If you pay attention to my Instagram this month, you'll see that I'm giving a ton of options in a full range size of swimsuit options you have available to you, because I want all of you gals to know there's so many options available in so many size ranges now. So just something to keep in mind. So to recap, number 1, we're going to ignore that tag size. Number 2, we're going to know what your actual measurements are. 3, I want you to think of this a lot like fitting yourself for a bra and fitting yourself for a good fitting pair of underwear. A swimsuit is both of these things at the same time, which is where people fall into a lot of fitting conundrums, particularly with regard to a one piece. I want you to know that you don't necessarily have to shop by body type. I'm not a fan of that, and I've seen that on a lot of swimsuit websites this season, and it makes me feel a little barfy because, yet again, I think we're all trying to fit women in boxes, and I don't think women should be compared to fruit like apples or pears. I don't think that works for everyone. I also think a lot of it perpetuates a lot of shame, especially if you associate having a pear-shaped body with being a bad thing, a negative thing, or having an apple-shaped body as being a negative thing. Then those body shape ideas are not useful to you, which is why I'm not a fan of them, because I feel like it's just one more mental hurdle that women have to overcome in order to slip on a piece of clothing, which I think is nonsense. If you find that on these websites when you go shopping, don't worry, you don't fit into a box. Look at all the swimsuits. And the third thing, this is really important. I want you to remember that because this is so much like fitting undergarments, that a lot of the principles are the same. You want smoothness. You want smooth fitting undies. You don't want butt munchers. You don't want anything cutting into your legs or your belly. The same with bra fitting. You want the underbust area to fit smoothly. You don't want any spillage over the cups. You want the straps to fit nicely where you can fit at least 2 fingers underneath comfortably. The same fitting principles apply there. If you can wrap your brain around at least getting a good pair of underwear and a good fitting bra, the same concept can be taken over to a swimsuits. And sometimes just equating that to underwear is very helpful to lessen a lot of the drama. Now, I know some of you have drama with fitting underwear and bras. And again, episodes 4 and 5 go over that in detail. I also have the Undies Clean Out Challenge, which is a very cute workbook, and it's super lighthearted. The videos are on my Facebook page. And if you want a copy of that resource, sign up for the Glam Gal Gazette. You get all of my best workbook and materials. 4, poor construction. Remember, the garment must conform to you, not you to the garment. Swimsuits are notorious for poor construction. Swimsuit construction itself is an art form. And if any of you have ever gone to design school or know anything about garment construction and sewing, you know it takes a whole different machine, like a cover stitch machine. It takes special type of swimsuit fabric and underlining and underwire and elastic that doesn't erode in the pool. I mean, there's a lot that goes into the construction of a swimsuit, a good swimsuit. Poor construction and cheap swimsuits are fairly the norm these days. And the reason being, a lot of women think, well, I'm only going to wear this for one season. Who knows what my body's going to be like next season? Or they want lots of options, so they buy lots of cheap swimsuits so that they can have outfits to change into. And I'm all for a fabulous outfit change. But I'm also a big fan of things fitting you well. And sometimes the fit has nothing to do, again, with your body. And it really has nothing to do sometimes with the size of the swimsuit itself. It's just that it was constructed very poorly. So here's some things to look out for in terms of construction quality of a swimsuit. I want you to flip it inside out. Yeah, be that gal. I have no shame about going into, fabulous department stores like Saks and Bloomingdale's and flipping dresses inside out just to see the construction inside. I sew, so I love seeing how other things are finished off in the inside. Like, I geek out on that. And I encourage all of my glam gals to do the same. And sometimes my friends make fun of me for touching all of the fancy things in a store like I already own it. So I encourage you to do the same thing. We're going to start flipping bathing suits inside out. And we're going to look for a few things. Any exposed elastic. Now, elastic has a shelf life. And if it's exposed to chlorine, it will break down even faster. So if you pull a bathing suit inside out and you see a ton of exposed elastic, that means that bathing suit is going to wear down that much faster. You're going to have elastic rubbing against your body. You're going to have elastic digging into you in some ways. That's poorly constructed. You might want to rethink purchasing that swimsuit. Second, the lining. Is the lining smooth and sewn in such a way that there's no open hanging gapey parts? Now, if you have a swimsuit that has an open hanging gapey part, you'll know exactly what I'm talking about. When you have that nude lining and it's not completely attached to the swimsuit, it was sort of haphazardly sewn at the sides, but not the middle, that thing may tear. It may also not be the best quality in terms of thickness, which means if you have nipples that get exposed in cold water and people can see them, it's only going to be that much worse with improper, thin, or not well sewn lining. So that's something to keep in mind. Same with the crotch area. Again, if you have a lighter swimsuit and you don't have very good lining around the crotch, or any lining at all around the crotch, when the swimsuit becomes wet, your nether regions may be exposed to the world in a way that you are not intending. Keep that in mind. I'll leave that there for your imagination. If you need further clarification on that, ask a friend. And last, common problems that I see with swimsuit fitting. And again, it all goes back to thinking of this very close to fitting underwear or a bra Same common problems apply between the two of them. A saggy bottom. Now, a lot of you will buy a one piece that's one size too big to accommodate your chest. And what ends up happening is you have a saggy crotch and a soggy bottom. I would recommend that you size back down to the size that actually fits you the snuggest in most parts of your body. And then work on fitting your breasts into the swimsuit. Altogether, if it can't fit both parts of you well, it's not the swimsuit for you, and that's okay. Now, a lot of the swimsuits have these constructed breast sections. They have these molded cups already into the swimsuit. If that's the case and you want to buy a swimsuit that has that look, then I recommend you shop by cup size. Then you are more likely to not only fit the top, but find a wholly constructed swimsuit that also fits your bottom. Just because you're a size 6 on the bottom doesn't mean you're going to be a size 6 on the top. Just because you're a size 20 on the top doesn't mean you're necessarily going to be a size 20 on the bottom. I have a very large chest, so I know that if I'm going to buy a 2-piece, I'm going to have to buy a different size in the bottom than I am on the top. So personally, for me, and if this is helpful to you, something I recommend. So one thing I always concern myself with is, can I wear a bra with this? Can I wear a bra comfortably with this? So that way the bottoms are a little easier to fit. So my current swimsuit this season, it has a ruffle top, and the ruffles go over my shoulders so I can wear a bra with this swimsuit. It's a one-piece that completely covers my bottom. And I probably will wear a pair of shorts over it, just because I'm more comfortable that way. I still think it's a fabulous swimsuit. I'm going to wear a really cute black hat that I own with it. I already have the sunglasses and the sandals picked out. But I know that for me, fit has a lot to do with bra fitting. So I always ensure that I can wear a bra with my swimsuit, or I buy a swimsuit according to cup size, and then I buy a pair of bottoms that can fit the top. All right, Glam Gal. So your mission this week, should you choose to accept it, and you want a foray into the world of swimsuit fitting. Remember these 5 points. Number 1, tag size is not to be believed. The clothing must conform to you. 2, know your actual measurements. 3, think of this as an expedition for fitting your bras and undies. Sometimes that takes the drama out of things. 4, it may not be the fit, it just may be a poorly constructed swimsuit. And 5, there are common problems to fitting underwear and bras that are the same with swimsuits. If you know your common fitting issues with your bras and undies, you're more likely to solve for them when it comes to buying a swimsuit. And always, my Glam Gal, in terms of your mindset homework, the clothing must conform to you. That is a thought I want you to practice anytime you step into a dressing room. I hope you have a lovely week. If you're having some drama around this whole idea and struggle with self-image, and you start calling yourself the fat girl around this time of year, I want you to reach out to me for some coaching. Sign up for a coaching session at coach@judithgaton.com, and I will get you all squared away. All right, let's get it, Glam Gals. Miss J out.